Yo, yo. 5th of the 4th v3. It is 4:29 p.m. Yeah, I really need to have my own place to live in because I can't be loud at night at all because it'll wake people up. I didn't even know. I thought we're in separate rooms. You shouldn't be able to hear someone in another room with the door closed. And I've got a thing under the door as well to block even more noise. It's kind of hot in here. It's just 24. It feels hotter than that. I feel like the digestive issues give me shortness of breath because it makes my stomach swell. Definitely when it gets bad, it does. What? I don't even know what it's referring to. I think they're just making this up, bro. UK is not very large, is it? Neither is France. That's so weird. I've been here to, like, here. That's like, almost, that's like 2/3 the size of France. It's crazy. That's what money can do. That's crazy, bro. Billions of dollars. Because it'll never come off on hardwood floors, isn't that it? It's not bears. What is this? They look like dried apricots. Probably AI. Seriously, I wouldn't doubt the Iranians to just lie about everything like they seemingly always do. It's the kind of country it is. You can't even hear his microphone because it cuts out. Bro, seriously, why does it take so long to spawn in? Battle bus not even there. Non-existent battle bus match. Who is sniping me, bro? What the fuck? That's gotta be a boss. Who else would take that shot? What is this? Why is it that when you meet people in real life, generally, well, sometimes, they act differently to each other. But then when you go online, it's like the same fucking people over and over again. Why does it work like that? It's like online spaces seem to be, very, conformistic. It's like the same groups of people over and over again. Seem to get all the attention. You don't even hear from anyone else. Maybe because a lot of people don't use online forums and stuff like that. Should have got some fried chicken, that would have been nice. They sell fried chicken at the place I usually get my food from recently. Sucks being a sick person. It's like I can't relate to the majority of healthy people at all. Why are people sniping me, bro? I don't actually like that sniper, by the way. I think this is a shitty gun. He was over there? What the fuck? I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. To the point that I love and I hate you. Like, I can't relate to healthy people at all. I think I just said that, right? It's crazy. All the healthy people I meet, that's not absolute. Like, you can relate to them on specific issues sometimes. But generally speaking, the style of life is just so totally different, and they don't understand, and I have a hard time, like, trying to understand what their... I mean, I know what their life is like, because that's what... is what most people's lives are like, but on these, like, fundamental levels, we don't have the same experiences. We don't live similarly. Most of the time, we just don't have much at all in common with each other. And it's this, you do have the sense of, like, being inferior. That is, like, always the case. Because it's like, yeah, well, I would probably possibly like to be living like that. It's just impossible for me because of sickness. You know? Oh. You almost got me. One more second, I would have been dead, probably. Like, it's one of the reasons why I kind of... It's not really one of the reasons, I actually had other reasons, but when I was in contact with people I went to school with, some of them, not all of them, obviously, you know, it's just extremely obvious. It's basically defined by lack. They get to do this and this and this and all these normal things that people do, and I am not able to do any of it. So they invite me to the movies. I can't go because back then I had really bad noise sensitivity issues. It was going to be too loud, so I couldn't go. And it's just because I don't think they were very good friends. In my opinion, from my perspective, they weren't very good friends because, like, when that happened, they weren't like, oh, okay, we'll have something else and we'll invite you to something else that you can do. They didn't do that. They just... we didn't have there wasn't an event that I could attend after that. And they would meet with each other at university and stuff, like, every day, and then never want to, like, meet with me. The only time we met was like we would meet once a year for someone from another city would organize an event, would come back to this city and organize an event here. Which is like, why the fuck couldn't these people who already live here do something like that? It's why? Because they didn't want to. Because they already were socially satisfied because they interacted with the rest of them at university every day. What was I saying? Yeah, the only time we got together outside of this guy from another city's event that would be hosted once a year was when I specifically said like, can we go and do this? And then, you know, they were like, it's like I would explain it to them like, oh, I can't do that much. I can't be super physically active, and they kind of just ignored it. When I was with them, they kind of just ignored it and were doing like way too much, and were like, it's just fucking awkward because they don't get it. They don't get it at all. They don't get it at all. And they don't even seem to try to. Like, you try to explain it to them, they don't understand, and then they just sort of don't talk about it anymore because it's awkward. Top 10, baby. I know it's all bots, but it's still fun. Bro, I got no movement items. Where is my movement item? I don't want the sniper. One guy seemed like, well, it's not that they were like absolutely like we don't fucking care, but the way that they acted did kind of give the impression that they kind of didn't give a shit, even though it's like super important. So what I was really surprised with was like basically that they weren't interested in talking about it a lot. They might ask me a question here and there, but yeah, it was really weird. They were really weird about it. Yeah, but then the guy who actually seemed to kind of give a shit a little bit was like getting into like all this alt-right shit, which I don't know. He's probably still into it. He's probably still into it. I wouldn't doubt it. Which that shit doesn't work for me. Like, I'm chronically ill. I rely on social welfare to get by. That doesn't go with alt-rightness at all. Doesn't go with being alt-right. It's totally against it. Alt-right people are totally against social welfare most of the time. As most right-wing people are, they say, oh, you should just get a job and like fix it yourself. Was none available. There we go. Tanya. Or Tanja. I don't know. Holy shit. He's wasting me. If you're gonna use it, I'm gonna use it, idiot. He's running away. Yeah, so it is very. I always felt disconnected from them, honestly. Like, once I got sick, and I have, like, personal reasons to not like a bunch of them anyway, because I had a bunch of issues with them. But, like, yeah, definitely once I got sick, I couldn't relate to these people at all. And it's like they didn't put effort in to be like, let's get together more often, or like, oh, I want to learn about the situation you're in. They didn't care to do either of those things, really. Fucking stupid. Fucking stupid, bro. It's like no one really gave a shit. And it's like, oh yeah, well, they weren't reliable. No, they weren't reliable. You couldn't rely on them for anything. That's the most important factor is like if you're chronically ill, you need people to be reliable because sickness isn't reliable. So you need everything else to be, or life just fucking sucks. And, like, it's not worth the effort a lot of the time to do anything if you're not going to get reliable results, right? Oh, come on, he's so low. What? He's still alive? How is he still alive? I literally just spent like a fucking minute shooting him. That's such bullshit. I didn't even get to see what weapons he had. That is such bullshit. I hit him like 100 times. What is he doing? Those pet things are just annoying. Sidekicks. So annoying. Why would you even have that? It's just a distraction. How stupid. Honestly. People pay for those. You pay to be distracted in game. That's fucking stupid. I think healthy people find it hard to empathize with people like me. J-Bob, I'm not letting you in. Not after yesterday, honestly. Why does he want to come in? It's only to jump on the desk. But then he just keeps scratching at the door, which is really annoying. God, he's so annoying. He just keeps scratching until you open the door. Then he comes in and jumps on the bench. This isn't even like the time I give him food or anything, and everyone else is in the house. There are like 3 other people in the house. He specifically comes to my door to scratch on it so that he can get let in and jump on the desk. Which is really annoying and I don't want him to do because It means I can't use the computer. If he would just come in and lie on the bed, that would be totally fine, but he doesn't do that. The scratching on the door is really annoying. That gun is total garbage, bro. Oops. Fucking hell. Yeah, that's why I did that, because I wanted to get this guy's bounty as a rival. No wonder he was hitting so many shots. Yeah, this one. Like, I totally find it hard to relate. The reason when you say, like, empathize, why is it hard to empathize? For healthy people, it's hard to empathize with sick people because, they can't understand having sickness and being so limited and the level of, like, suffering it causes. Um, with why is it that thing with autism where it's like double empathy or whatever it's called? I don't know if that's relevant. For me, it's hard to empathize with healthy people because it's kind of like the issues that they complain about are like issues I would be glad to have. Like if the stuff that they think is like so important and so bad, like if that was my main concern, my life would be so much easier. Like, it's hard for me to empathize, not because I don't understand their issues, um, but, and I think this is true for a lot of sick people, but it's not because you don't understand their issues, it's because you do understand them, but they're just severely less. It's like rich people complaining about, like, oh, I got taxed $1 million, but I make 100 million a year. Like, literally, because these people are, like, relatively speaking, so well off when it comes to health. This, like, privileged position. It's hard to empathize, and, you know, also because we just live totally different lives. Totally different lives. Theirs seems a lot easier, a lot easier. It's very hard for me to think of an issue that a healthy person can have that, again, doesn't involve their health, that makes their life, like, anywhere near as bad as it is for most sick people. Hard for me to think of one, really. I know it's all in my head. Where is this guy? Fucking Pickle. I am pizza. Okay. This guy's a bot. Fuck. Oh no. Actually, that's good. Surely that guy was a bot, right? He can't have been that bad. No way I'm gonna die to the storm, bro. Stupid ass storm. These fucking Daffy players, bro. They always act so goofy. They always have some bullshit. I swear, it's like one of the worst scans for player behavior. They're not respectable at all. That's why they don't use a respectable scan. He's literally a Looney Tunes character. Yes. It's much like rich versus poor. You like expect a poor person to empathize with rich people's issues. It's just absurd. Why do the poor not empathize with the rich? Is it because they can't understand rich people's issues? No, it's because rich people's issues seem like a privilege to have, even. To even have those issues is a privilege. Right? That's the kind of point I'm trying to make with like healthy and sick. Most of what healthy people have is the biggest issues. It would be a privilege to have those as my biggest issues. But I don't, of course, because I don't even have the opportunity for those to be issues for me in the first place. Most of the time. When people talk about, like, oh, dating, or like, oh, men are like this, women are like this, I don't even interact with people my age. Or, like, anyone outside of my family, a mental health worker, and a psychiatrist every couple of months. These are the only people I interact with at all. When I talk about my interactions I've had, I'm talking about stuff from like 5 years ago. That was the last time I was really interacting with, and then when I got sent to the mental hospital, these are the only times I've had interactions because I can't go anywhere, I can't meet people, I can't sustain relationships very well. It's crazy. It's that and online. That's it. People are privileged to even have those issues, right? I've seen this guy before. Seen this skin before. I missed too many shots. That's my fault. Would feel privileged to even have these issues that are always most important slash are always complaining about. Like, this is the reality, okay? We all know it. Healthy people don't think about getting chronically ill. They think, oh, it won't happen to me. And because it doesn't happen to them, it reinforces this thing where it's like, well, it only happens to, like, people who deserve it or something. Or it's just not an important issue because it doesn't affect them. Right? But that's not from a position of, like, disadvantage. This is from a position of power. They're saying that people who are worse off, their issues don't matter because powerful people don't have to deal with them. Sick people's issues don't matter because healthy people don't have to deal with them. Right? I'm saying I'm saying a lot of healthy people's issues aren't as important because you actually have to be privileged to a degree to even have those issues in the first place. You actually have to be in a position of power over another group of people to even have that problem. Right? What are the biggest issues for healthy people? I don't even really know. That mental health isn't, like, what? No, I mean, like, when we're talking about people who are healthy, what are the biggest issues? If you have a mental health condition, you're not really healthy, are you? Right? That's not a sign of health. What are generally speaking, the biggest issues, the biggest issues lives of healthy, non-chronically ill people today. In the West. I don't know, just today. They don't become problem free, but I would say that the problems are like not as bad. Cost of living, see, but the cost of living for healthy people is much less than it is for people with chronic illness. And you get paid more. This is just absurd. Like, oh, well, I'm not doing better than I was last year. Yeah, but you're doing way better than, like, a sick person. It's hard for me to tell because I don't meet many. Well, I know my parents, but I feel like my parents are exceptionally narcissistic, so they're always like making a big deal out of their little things. So it's hard for me to tell. My brother doesn't talk about his personal life, so no one knows. Dating difficulties, I can't even date, pretty much. Like, if I get into a relationship, my benefit gets cut. Stress, anxiety, depression. Just most of these are to do with work. Work, this is all work. I like this weapon. I remember when they first added it years and years ago. Fuck. It was probably more overpowered in the past than it is now, I'm not sure. You have to be too accurate with it though, it's very easy to miss. Like, if we go through this, cost of living, except for them, it's not as bad. Job insecurity, except I can't even work. Difficult. This is also worse if you're chronically ill. This is like way worse if you're chronically ill. You're not even close to their position in the first place. Let alone the fact that things barely improve off them. This you don't even really think about existential questions because it's like your entire life is defined by chronic illness already. And people think, what am I doing with my life? They're like, oh, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. You don't even have a choice with chronic illness. You're basically stuck in place regardless. These are all privileged issues. Like, I'm not able to walk, so you can add extra meaninglessness to that. It seems like these issues are either you would be privileged to have them, or they're significantly worse with chronic illness. This is all worse than chronic illness most of the time. Like, dating, if that even happens at all. Sometimes a lot of people don't even date. A lot of people don't have any friends. I would say this is all worse than chronic illness most of the time. This is absolutely worse. This is extremely worse. You're in the bottom 10% of society most of the time. If you have something bad, like not being able to work puts you in the bottom 10%. Only about 10% of people are unemployed. Like, you're probably in less than the bottom 10%. This is like a privilege to have. That's a privilege to have, probably. That's a privilege to have. So much worse in chronic illness. These are all like privilege to have. Like, you could just quit your job and not work if you wanted to and live off of welfare, like other people are forced to. Is it enough to live off of? Yeah, probably not, but you could work part-time. They always have the option. The thing about healthy people issues is usually there is a solution. They just don't want to do the thing that is required. Like, the ways for them to fix it are so much easier. And usually the reason why the issue hasn't changed is because they've been unwilling to do some of the things that could possibly fix it. It might not be totally easy, but they have options. People with chronic illness usually don't have any actual options to improve their position at all. Okay, and these are like privilege to have, to be concerned about the climate. Why would you care about the climate if you are suffering constantly every day? You're thinking, oh, what about the planet, guys? Seriously. Damn, my food arrived like 10 minutes ago. Like, these are privileged issues, really. Privileged. only exists because someone has a certain level of health, energy, or opportunity. Like the opportunity factor, that is like when we talk about rich and poor, and how it's like it's absurd that you're fucking talking to like if I were talking to someone who didn't have an internet connection about how Fortnite wasn't working, and they're like, oh yeah, I don't give a shit about that at all. I don't even have internet, you know? Like lack of opportunity, which that's usually the biggest difference between rich and poor most of the time. Um, but yeah, sickness definitely takes your opportunities away as well because of things like health and energy. Only exist because of the person has a certain issue of certain level. Issue only exists because someone has a certain level of health, energy, and opportunity. Some problems are actually signs of capacity, or I would say privilege. It's synonymous with privilege. It's a degree of power that you have over another group. Not like that you're oppressing them necessarily, but the other group doesn't have it. This capacity is a measure of people's power, right? Building a career, dating and socializing, pursuing goals, optimizing lifestyle. That is all like, oh yeah, when someone says, I'm burnt out from work, it's like, you don't have to work, do you? You don't absolutely have to. Healthy people can go bankrupt and then just work their way up again. You can work part time and just be poor, and you'll be poorer, but they can still it's still a manageable life. The difference is that like sickness is terrible, and a lot of the time it is quite unmanageable, can be constantly unmanageable all the time. All the time, constantly, and the limitations are massively more. Like the healthy person does like work too much, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm burnt out." Why do they do that? Because they don't want to get poor. When being poor and healthy is actually better than being chronically ill. So like they're clearly in a privileged position there. Like you could be poor and healthy, and it wouldn't be as bad as being chronically ill most of the time. Being poor and chronically ill is even worse. It's the worst thing you can be, pretty much. That's why a lot of homeless people have sickness. Because it's like insanely hard to get out of if you're poor and chronically ill. That's why it kind of annoys me to hear people talk about this shit, and you get like distracted by all the memes and the um information warfare and shit, where it's like, oh, this is the most important issue in society, guys, and if you actually take a critical position and compare it to your own life with chronic illness, you'll figure out, oh wait, that's not very bad at all. It's really not that bad, right? Things worse than chronic illness are like, genocide and like torture, possibly. Well, torture's kind of similar. Chronic illness is pretty torturous, but torture's probably worse. Sometimes. It, I don't know. I don't actually know if it's worse or not. It's probably worse, but I don't know. You have to. I don't know. Is torturing a healthy person worse than being chronically ill? I don't. Torture doesn't last forever, does it? And people can recover from that shit. A lot of people don't recover from chronic illness though. It's permanent. Like if something caused chronic illness actively, like if you doing something to someone caused chronic illness, I think people would say that doing the thing was worse than torture, possibly because of the long-term effects. Also, maybe torture can cause chronic mental illness, but I'm not sure. When you say you burnt out from work, i.e. a problem, what it actually says is you can work consistently, you got access to work, you got enough stability to even reach burnout, right? That's totally makes a point. That's a problem I can't even have. This is what I'm thinking all the time. This is literally like my experience. Is like I can't even have that problem. When people talk about relationships or oh I went on a bad date, it's like I can't even have that problem. I can't even that's not even a problem that I can have. I don't even have the opportunity to do any of that, to have a bad experience. You have to actually have the opportunity and the ability and the capacity to do that in the first place, which I'm not able to. It's fucking crazy, bro. Hierarchy of needs, I know this. Healthy people often operate higher up esteem, identity, self-actualization. Chronic illness can force a drop down, physical stability, basic functioning, day-to-day survivability. One group is asking how do I get fulfilled, the other is asking how do I get through the day. That's how it is. I'll go get my food. That's a problem I can't even have. This is literally what you think all the time when you're fucking listening to, like, healthy people's issues. Most of the time, aside from, like, being poor, because most chronically ill people are poor, but so many of the issues are like, I couldn't even have that issue. Because I'm in such a lower position. You can get stuck at stability, and then when you get stability, you get stuck at growth, and it's like, how do you even grow? Yes, I try to do this stuff, but this is basically all I can do. It does feel absurd. I'm not saying that they aren't real, I just don't think that they're as severe, and that they shouldn't be prioritized as much. quality of options as opposed to I don't even have any options, right? Yeah, the healthy people always frame things as motivation and a choice. Like if you're not doing something, it's because you don't put enough effort in, which is totally totally not accurate for the sickness I've got. Yeah, why am I made constantly aware of the issues of people I have nothing in common with? It's absurd. And then the next point is the problem with it, they're all doing way better than I am, but I have to see their issues everywhere. Everywhere. All the fucking shit I see everywhere is people who are doing well complaining about some bullshit that isn't that important. Everywhere, bro. I don't see anything from people who are like actually suffering. Unless it's like the Palestine issue. That's basically it. What do you mean, even a sense? It's obviously unfair. It's obviously unjustified. If social media were in the social good, they would emphasize issues from people who are worse off and not people who are, oh, I went on a bad date yesterday. Wah. Fuck off, you loser. It's insane. That's why, like, I want to hear more from people in my group, less from people in everything else. Seriously. I know that they feel real to them. I just think that other people's issues should be more visible. They are more solvable. A lot of them have easy solutions, and some of them just seem to like complaining about stuff, I swear. Like, you can just go on another date, you know? Find another job. You can do that. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. Except some negative mental impact, perhaps. Yeah, this is the thing. I don't care about their range. I don't want to hear about the range of privileged people. This is like saying rich people's issues are real within their range. They are, but they're also significantly less important and less severe, and society should not be focusing on them. Why does society focus on healthy people so much and not the sick? You would think from American perspective the worst thing you could be is black or transgender or gay or something like that, and it's not. Those things aren't inherently harmful. You don't come home and suffer for it, right? The worst that can happen is they might receive harassment in public. That's pretty much it. Or the police treat them badly or something. Police treat me badly as well. Big surprise. I'm not black. I'm not trans. I'm not gay. They're not condemned to a life of suffering, literally. What I'm saying is that their issues aren't as important. I don't want to hear about them. Pretty much at all. I don't care. How can I care when their issues are so much less significant and aren't as important and really don't matter if you aren't a healthy person with all this opportunity that they have? It's like dealing with rich people. You can't relate to them at all because their lives are so much easier. Their lives are easier, by the way. Their lives are, like, measurably easier on average. Seriously. If only the MECFS group in my city wasn't so shut. They've been shut to me. Honestly. If only they weren't so shut, I might actually meet some people who have it. 100 bands in my pocket is on me. And your grandmama probably know me. Da 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 da. This is so fake, bro. There's an Act 2? Oh shit. And I'm with the band. There's a social media platform, right? I know there's like a neurodivergent one, but I don't know if that's like, that's not really the same thing. let you down, gonna give you anything, gonna give you everything. I saw a girl with chronic fatigue syndrome on TikTok once, but then I didn't save it. That's the only time. It's like extremely rare to see ME/CFS in the wild, especially on something like TikTok. She had a boyfriend, bro. How lucky. I swear, like, and this is like, I hate to say it, but I swear it's like way easier if you're a girl to get a relationship if you have chronic fatigue syndrome. Because, like, social expectations for men and women in relationships, like, you don't really have to do that much if you're a woman. Like, you can have chronic fatigue syndrome and have a boyfriend. This is like, again, if the guy's like a piece of shit, he might leave, but you can probably find another one who's like okay with it. The likeliness of you you know, getting a girlfriend as a guy is like really not high, really low. It's probably never gonna happen. Yeah, I missed out because I wasn't allowed in school, even though I had so many opportunities, and now, you know, I got chronic illness, and I'm on these drugs that make me super overweight, give me hormone issues. You really, I mean, you couldn't ask for worse, could you? She was lucky, bro. I feel like a lot of girls with chronic fatigue syndrome have boyfriends, or they've got like, oh, the boyfriend left, but then they're able to get another one. Yo, it's Tong 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 Sahur. Crazy. Get to see the skin in the game. That's cool. Possibly, if he doesn't get killed. Fucking Bugs Bunny. Oh my god, I thought I had the double shotguns. Fucking killed me with the slow shooting. Fuck off, you goofy loser. What is it playing? Let me alt tab. Holy shit. The fuck is this? I'm gonna need it. Even if I try. was I just saying? Like, me trying to compete with the average healthy person is impossible, bro. Impossible. Like, the market is fucked. I will only ever have a chance with other chronically ill people, and the only case in which they won't cut my benefit to zero, and which is like, I can't do that, um, is if I find someone who's also on a benefit. It's the only case they don't cut the benefit is if the other person's on a benefit. Otherwise, they expect the other person to pay, to give you money to live off of out of their check. Like you're the dependent or something. Fucking crazy. Like they take your right to welfare away if you get into a relationship with someone who's not on a benefit. Which is, yeah, that's terrible. God, I can't crouch. I hate how unreliable this game is. It's so annoying. Like, there are bugs so often. Like, half the games have a bug. This bug happens like 1 in 3 matches. It's insane. Don't shoot at my car. Fucking loser. Cars used to deal so much more damage. No way he falls under the bush. I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. To the point where I love and I hate you. So I must replace you all. Easier said than done. I thought you were the one listening to my heart instead of my head. I'm the better one. Life sucks. Where's the loot? Remember that guy? Thanks for the loot. How do I... Is that one of my friends? Or I don't know why I remember this guy's name so well. Thanks for the loot. It's just funny. Thanks for the loot. I don't know if it was thanks or tags. I think it was tags. I used to have so many friends when I was healthy, bro. I had people I really liked in my life. Some of them were shitty, but like, other people I really, really liked, and now they don't want anything to do with me. Just went out of my life and never seen them again. And I tried messaging some of them. They didn't want anything to do with me. Didn't even reply. Didn't even read. They saw the notification and didn't even click on the message. Fucking hate being by myself all the time. Doesn't mean I want to be with people I don't like, and sure, I don't like a lot of people, but it'd be nice to have any good friends. Any at all. Which I don't, and it's like a fucking thing that people keep bringing up. Oh, you don't have any friends. Fucking psychiatrists and shit, parents and shit, oh, you don't have any friends. I'm like obsessed with it. Totally obsessed. We're changing it, we made it. Yeah, we made it. Holy shit, this earthquake. Tiny one. What the fuck is that? Remind me when that banging on the wall. Fucking house shaking. That's a little shock. Literally. God damn. So what the fuck is that? Someone pushing on the door? My phone. Saw you on TV, son. Is that to vacation. I hadn't reloaded this. Oh, here's a good idea. Upgrade the AR. Oh, bro, what? Fuck, I think I switched out my combat for this by accident. Because it was a higher level. Oh, there it is. Ah, I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm supposed to upgrade the shotgun first. Stupid. Situation changed, but I didn't adapt what I was going to do. That was fucking stupid. I was acting as if it was still a green and the other one was a blue. Is this my guy? Yeah, it is. Get out. Holy shit. If I'd have been able to crouch, I would have killed him way before. Like I know, but no, I ain't too proud. I couldn't beat it, even if I tried. You don't believe it. Can't even slide. This is so annoying. Can't slide, I can't crouch for better accuracy. Stupid ass game. Why does this fucking bullshit happen? And like, it's just random. Some games it happens, some games it doesn't. Total disadvantage. It's like I had this bug one time, I actually won the match. Which is like, maybe it gave me some psychological advantage or something. Where I couldn't see my health and shield. The health and shield wasn't on the screen, was like gone, it wasn't there. And I actually ended up winning the match. Just because I wasn't focused on my fucking shield. Health and shield and stuff. That's so stupid. Where is this guy? Oh. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, run away, run away. Azul. That's blue in Spanish. Azul. They probably say blue in Mexico. I don't know. I don't know what's better. Well, it's 50 versus 100, but you only need health if your shield's already gone. Top 3, baby. If I'd have been able to crouch, you would have died earlier. It's crazy, bro. Fuck. Da, 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 da. I had such a promising future out of me, bro. Like, I was a pretty good student. I was gonna lock in final year. You know, I was gonna put effort in. Actually try to do well. Fuck. That is so lame. He probably died to the storm or something. That is so lame. He was in the storm. What a joke. I wanted to fight the guy. That's so stupid. Bro, this season's got like 2 months left and I've almost finished the battle pass. I'm like 17 levels away. Bad things and I wish and I wish and I wish and... Up a Gundam style, sexy ladies. I've been streaming for 2 hours? What? That's crazy. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like 30 minutes. It feels like 1 hour. When did I start streaming? 4. I guess that makes sense. Like having friends you can kind of walk together on stuff. So I've seen this one. I don't know what Bezzy is. Because isolation sucks. Like the only person I interact with outside of my family, my brother doesn't interact with me. I don't like my parents. And then there's just the mental health worker where it's like, he doesn't walk, he's not my friend, you know? He works for the psychiatrist and they both work against me with this bullshit diagnosis. So I downloaded Spoonie. What is Bezzy? It's specific conditions. People say bearable's good, but like, that's mainly for symptom tracking. Imagine if I died. I've got a crown, bro. So I know there's a Reddit community. Yeah, that's the one where I am, but they weren't very good when I interacted with them. Song's kind of annoying. I'm so tired. Uh, it's the worst fucking place to be. Crazy. Like, I had people from the Christchurch organization basically denying that I had it, which is like absurd when I've got all the main symptoms. They were trying to say like cognitive issues wasn't part of it, when that is like objectively one of the measures that they use. Like that's actually a symptom you have to have, or another symptom that you have to have. It's either this or that. You must have it. Now we're trying to say like, oh no, that's not how it works. These were people who didn't have chronic fatigue syndrome. We're trying to say that. They literally don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It was a terrible organization. MECFS Canterbury. Terrible organization. Stupid, terrible organization. What the fuck were they talking about? These fucking bureaucrats. These, you know, workers who didn't actually have the condition, trying to say whether or not you've got it. Like, what are you talking about? I've got the symptoms for it. You can look it up and research it yourself. Which is not hard to do. Look, I'll pull it up now. Diagnostics. I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. See? And I get headaches sometimes. I don't know if I've got orthostatic intolerance. Maybe, maybe not. I've had that. I get nausea all the time. I don't know about this. Hypersensitivities, possibly. But if we're looking at like what's necessary, I absolutely have all the main ones. It's fucking stupid. And they're like, oh, maybe you got... They're like trying to say, like, oh, because they fucking called my doctors, and the doctors gave them my fucking health information, which they weren't legally allowed to do. Right? And they're like, oh, are you sure it's not schizophrenia? Like, no, it's not. They're like trying to say like, oh, you mental PEM, mental fatigue, cognitive issues, which are like fundamental symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. How do they not know this? It's insane. Like, this is how bad they were. Mental fatigue, cognitive symptoms. They're trying to say like, oh, you sure that's not mental illness? And it's like, no, it's obviously not. You fucking retards. That's a main symptom of chronic fatigue syndrome. In the UK diagnostic criteria, you have to have cognitive symptoms. Yeah, this is what you get when you have a support group or a representative organization that is not actually based, it's not actually made up of people who have the condition. Because people who have the condition, if you actually asked a whole bunch of people who have the condition, they would probably say, yeah, I have that issue as well. Or some people might say, no, I don't. Other people might say, yes, I do. I swear, like, how could you get that wrong? It's like they just didn't want to believe that I had it because I'm a young male. Simple as that. I guarantee it was because I'm a young male and most of the people there are female and old. It's fucking stupid, bro. That's the kind of organization they were. Not run by people who actually have the sickness. What's the point of the organization then? What is the point of an MECFS organization that is not actually the people who work there, who are like running you through the processes and stuff? As a person who has it, the people who work there don't have the condition. They don't even know. They're just random bureaucrats, like random managerial worker type people. I don't know if bureaucrat is the right word, but they're just people who work at in a managerial position. They're not actually directly involved. People were literally, and they were like, they said to me, oh, if you tell us all your information and stuff, we'll help you get transport organized. And then I did, and then they weren't actually able to, like, they put preconditions on it. They're like, oh yeah, we'll help you after you tell us all your information and stuff. What is this, a fucking cult? Because that's how they were operating. They were acting like a fucking cult. Right? Tell us all your information and we'll provide you with this service. Which they weren't actually able to do because they were like, oh well, you don't really fit this. According to the, the narrow criteria set by the council or whoever set it for getting transport. They expect you to take a bus as if a bus is anywhere near the same as getting someone else to drive you to a place. It's absurd. It's a massive difference. They aren't the same at all. They provide transport for people who can't walk. But if you can walk, then it doesn't matter if you get PEM or not. It doesn't matter if you doesn't matter if you will get sicker by walking to the bus and going on the bus and taking the bus and having to walk from the bus stop to wherever you need to go rather than just being driven there. They don't care if that makes you worse. They don't actually care because they don't know what MECFS is. They don't know about things that aren't just not being able to move. For example, not being able to use your legs is like, oh yeah, that's a thing. But when it comes to, if I do this, it'll make me worse. They don't care about that. They say, oh well, if you can do it. It's fucking stupid because it's like, well, actually you can't, because if you do it, you'll get worse and you won't be able to do anything again. You say, yes, I could go on the bus, and then for months after, I would be able to do significantly less than I am day to day. Right? That's how crashing works. That's how it works. Makes you worse long term. They don't have the concept of like people getting worse from doing things. Fuck. And I never interacted with them again after that. But that is unfortunately the main ME/CFS community organization. But this is the thing, it's a community organization that is not actually based around people who have the condition, necessarily. I think one of the persons who runs it does, but the people who actually do run the organization, they don't. I think the head person does, and then but the workers don't. And the workers are the ones making the decisions about everything. Most of the time. That is way too much fat. What the fuck? That's all fat. Where's the meat? Hey, that's not very nice. This loser's gonna chase me. You're fucking loser, bro. I was literally waving at him and he decides to attack me. Fucking loser. I can't believe I died to that. That was pathetic. Yo, Spawn Island. It's not even driving it. It's fucking lame ass driver. Yeah, it fucking sucks because the organization for the sickness, main sickness I've got, and the city I'm in, that's how they acted. They're like, oh, mental, like, cognitive issues and mental fatigue don't exist. Oh, they're also mental illness. Like, what the fuck? What are they talking about? This is such a bullshit match, bro. That is so bullshit. Like, oh, they don't it's not real, or it's mental illness. And they did this fucking scummy shit where they said they were gonna help me, and then they made me do something for them, and then they weren't actually able to help me. Just absolutely scummy bullshit. Fucking useless organization. I'm still in the Facebook group, I think. I'm really tired. I might lie down for a while and then stream again later. Bro, my fucking connection is so laggy. I'm literally just trying to browse fucking Facebook, and it's so laggy. Bro, this whole fucking app of Facebook is just laggy. Doesn't work. Probably collapse. I feel like I can't even relate to a lot of these chronic illness people, it's crazy. I don't even know what's relatable to me, to be honest. I don't know people like me, so I don't know. Who's like me? I don't know. It is pretty much all women on those ME/CFS forums, though. Can't really relate to them. It's all women and elderly people. How can I relate to that? I'm a young male. We're not similar at all. The people on them are just like basic normal people who happen to have chronic illness. I don't think I'm like that. I don't think I'm like normal people much. Maybe I'm neurodivergent or something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how can I find people that I like. Instead of these, like, corporate-styled groups. It's very corporate to me. This isn't what I know people to be like. It's too corporate, too sterile. Where is this guy? Ah. Bro, what is that skin? Oh my god, bro. Fucking follow bot. Watch, the guy runs away and he lets his follower bot do all the work. What is that? What the fuck? How did he jump so high? Jesus Christ. Okay, the guy's skill. Fuck. Never gonna happen, bro. I don't even know, like... don't even know what's most important for friends because I don't have any. I used to value like being smart and being like generally free thinking and not being religious generally. Which is, it's not an absolute rule, it's just a preference. Left wing wasn't even a requirement, but I'll just put it in there anyway. I didn't actually care about politics back then. Bro, what? Stuck under the ground. I gotta throw. Oh, I did put snot. They don't have to be smart. I just find people who are stupid can be kind of annoying. Because they make mistakes of comprehension a lot. But if they're smart and not nice, I mean, people who aren't nice are bad friends. That's like objective. Why would you want to be friends with someone who wasn't nice? But superficial niceness can be bad as well if it's not like backed up by actual niceness. See, like, my one friend left, who I haven't contacted in like 5 years. He was pretty smart. He was an individualist. He was nice. He was generally supportive. But he was like falling into the alt-right. Which fucking ruins it. It's like, I can't be friends with right-wingers. It's so fucking awkward. All the people I met on GTA were right-wingers as well. So I'm not friends with any of them anymore. I tried, and they were all right-wingers, like saying the N-word, being misogynists, fucking making jokes about mass shooters and stuff. Like, that's not funny. It's fucking not funny. How is that funny? Shit's crazy. It's not funny at all. And they actually called themselves left-wing, and they were like joking about mass shooters and fucking all this incel stuff. All this 4chan stuff. 4chan is like far right. These people were like big into 4chan, calling themselves leftists. What the fuck are you talking about? Total bullshit. They were socially left and not like, well, not even socially left, really. Not even socially left. I'm saying things like, oh, sick people should just be like forced to work. Like, they should just force them to work. And they were calling that leftism. Fucking retarded. Just met a bunch of terrible people over the last while. I feel like New Zealand is generally full of terrible people. My parents are right-wingers, my brother's probably a right-winger, all of his friends are right-wingers, like... I'm surrounded by it. I met this guy on GTA and he's like, oh yeah, I go in, I go into Discord. This is what he says. He goes into Discord servers and he finds the women and he just harasses them. This was some random guy I met. I thought he was kind of interesting because he was like talking about, I don't know, interesting stuff. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm a misogynist. What the fuck? I don't know if these people are like super serious, but this is just fucking crazy, bro. We got like self described misogynist who spends his free time harassing women online. Seems like virtually every time I go into an online community I get harassed as well. It's absurd. Like, how am I supposed to make that not happen? She said, do you love me? I tell her only part we only love me better. My mama, I'm sorry. Let her tatted on me. Fuck. He wasn't even low. Seems kind of boring. I don't know. What else would we do together? This is a boring life. I don't know. Fuck investors, bro. Fuck landlords. God, put the prices down. These people are useless. They're like, oh, they're victims. How are they victims? Because they put like, oh, the sympathetic mum and dad. Fuck off. They're landlords. Landlords are a bunch of parasites. They should either sell their house or, you know, let the government rent it. Shouldn't be rented by private owners. It's fucking stupid. Turn it into public housing. What the fuck? Obviously got fucking melted by his hand or something. Help, help a left eye. What is this shit? $19,000. What the fuck? This is insane. $19,000. For what? This is so stupid. What? Who's buying this shit? What else do I do? Listening to music? Why does that exist though? That was interesting. I'm tired, so I think I'm gonna lie down now. I've only been up since like 3:30. 4, 5, 6, 7. I've only been up for 4.5 hours and I'm already tired anyway. The strategy was to say one that he knew for every question, so that he'd get one right. Then when they actually asked him the one that it's the right answer to, he said something else. Fucking stupid. $25 for 6 all cross bonds is ridiculous. That should be like 8. It's like 8 at back and save. They can't be that good. Yeah, I'm gonna get off now.